Here's another fun little alphabet book. Steampunk Alphabet. A is for apple. Oops, sorry. An apple-shaped music box made to revere the capital's founding of 200 years. Though many were made in all shapes and sizes, most were converted to listening devices. B is for balloon. The billows balloon was a sight to be seen. It could carry a speaker, a clock, or a screen. Steam-powered thrusters and hot air for lift would keep it in place instead of adrift. C is for candle. A traditional candle with wax and a wick could not hold a light to this candlestick. A tiny steam motor running below would generate power to keep it aglow. D is for dumpster. These on-rail dumpsters were compactors, too, deployed to the North City states as they grew. Lined up and emptied on every Tuesday. Here comes the trash train, the children would say. E is for egg. When children turned 5, it was custom to give an egg that was made by a close relative, a message inside that was not to be seen till the day they could crack it at age 17. F is for fish. These mechanical fish could blend in quite well, swimming so naturally most could not tell. Surveillance devices with gills once deployed, sending data to centers long since destroyed. G is for goggles. A good pair of goggles was becoming a must with all the steam and the smoke and the dust. As industrial sectors put themselves in a haze, goggles were starting a new fashion craze. H is for helmet. With steam-powered engines in every household, a good fuel source was more precious than gold. Miners dug deep in the earth and discovered they stood more of a chance if they kept their heads covered. I is for instrument. Clarinets, cellos, and violins were no longer drawing an audience in. These new contraptions flew right off the shelves, played melody, harmony, and accompanied themselves. J is for jar. A lid that was stuck left many resigned, so a jar that would open itself was designed. Too expensive to make on a large enough scale, the self-opening jar never came out for sale. K is for key. As security demands kept lockmakers busy, the new change-lock key put them all in a tizzy. Constructed of dials and gears from a clock, this key could change shape to fit any lock. L. L is for ladder. Without something to lean on, most ladders would fall, but the self-standing ladder used nothing at all. With gyroscopes spinning to keep it upright, this gadget became a success overnight. M is for microphone. This speaking device was a new microphone, but did more than turn up the volume alone. It could translate your words or even your tone, adding an accent that wasn't your own. N is for nest. Unlike a nest where a bird comes to roost, this mechanical nest gives a magnetic boost. Any object placed in it that wasn't too large would soon gain a positive, negative charge. O is for otter. Most boats tend to travel on top of the water, but this small submarine could dive like an otter. It moved with propulsion from a tail with a fin and could surface in seconds for more oxygen. P is for purse. As life became tough with an increase in crime, purse theft was happening time after time. These high-powered satchels offered increased protection. A purse could be tracked in any direction. Q is for quill. The copy quill's premise was widely exciting, a quill that could keep you from ever rewriting. Whatever was written was while using the pen, the quill could remember and write it again. R is for rocket. With no need for a runway to take off or land, rockets were meeting a growing demand. First used for cargo and then transportation, this new form of travel was sweeping the nation. S is for speaker. To make someone heard in a loud, noisy room, speakers were needed to turn up the volume. The wireless box took a bit of this wireless box took a bit of exacting as the sound on its motor was often distracting. I apologize. T is for toaster. Bread isn't bread once it's been through a toaster, though it used to be toasted with fire and a roaster, with changeable plates that could sear a design. These toasters made toast that looked ever so fine. U. U is for umbrella. An armored umbrella designed as a shield from the ash and debris that the factories would yield over the top for just keeping you dry, but perfect for hazards that came from the sky. V is for vest. Not just your typical fashionable vest. This waistcoat had armor sewn into the chest, with hidden compartments and buttons that popped. Some styles could restart your heart if it stopped. W is for window. These specialty windows were part glass, part machine. They could darken or lighten or change the whole scene. Despite their high cost, it proved to be true that people would pay for an alternate view. X is for xylograph. An old style of printing with woodblock and ink could stamp a design that looked very distinct. This art was revived when it found a new niche, changing the block with the flip of a switch. Y is for yarn. Clothes made from yarn had long been around, but to do the reverse was a method unfound. This machine could take clothing and quickly produce a new spool of yarn for some other use. Z is for zipper. Buttons and holes could take quite a while, so zippers were quickly becoming in style, an ingenious device that was only outshined when one that could zip up itself was designed. That's Steampunk Alphabet. If you're not familiar with steampunk, highly recommend checking it out. Thanks. Bye.